For thousands of people across Britain, someone is missing from their lives.
Has he passed away? Is he still alive? Or am I looking for someone that doesn't exist anymore?
I seem to think that she didn't want me. If you're not wanted, it hurts.
I've carried this secret for years and years and years. All my life, I've carried that shame.
Finding someone when their trail's gone cold can feel like an impossible task. But that is where we step in.
Oh my gosh, she has my eyes.
Offering a last chance to people desperate for help.
I last saw you as two boys, and now you're both grown men. To see you both again would be like a dream come true.
Now I know that I did the right thing. I haven't known that for all these years.
With no idea where our searches will lead, we've travelled the world, hoping to solve some of our toughest cases yet.
She's lived for more than 50 years with this horrible feeling that you will feel rejected. She seeks forgiveness.
And finally unravelling mysteries that have overshadowed entire lives.
I can't tell you what this means to me.
This week, the most complex search we have ever undertaken. A daughter looking for her mother, who she was separated from when she was just an hour old.
Have you thought of me? Did you ever love me?
After 49 years, I deserve to know.
And the man we discover, who remarkably has spent a lifetime searching for the same woman.
In the end, you start becoming afraid of looking. It's just rejection again.
Our story starts with a woman who grew up caught between two mothers, each battling to keep her.
I was a child in the middle of a tug of war, a tug of love that was just so hard on both sides.
Mother of two, Sharon Temple Sowerby, lives in Tyne Wear with her husband. As a child, she was raised by her mother Elizabeth and father Kenneth.
I was very close to my parents. I love me dad, but me mum, we sort of have a special bond. It's magic. Oh, what's that one?
That's your dad.
Is it? So how old was I there?
Weeks.
Was I?
But when she was still a young girl, Sharon made a chance discovery that would affect her entire life.
I was a nosy child, and I was in my mum's bureau, and I came across a letter. I found that actually the person I had been calling Mum all those years wasn't actually my biological mother. It was just shock.
Sharon assumed that she had been adopted. But in fact, as the truth came out over the next few years, it turned out to be far more complicated.
I was told by Mum that I was given to them by a doctor. His words were, "We have a baby coming if you would be interested."
In the early 1960s, Sharon's parents lived in the industrial city of Bradford. Unable to have a baby themselves, the couple were keen to adopt a child. Their GP told them about a local woman called Anne Ross. Anne already had two young sons and was pregnant with her third child. A child she would be unable to support financially.
I can't seem to visualise or understand how hard it must have been for Anne. To take a baby away because you can't afford them, put price on a child. It must have been heartbreaking.
Sharon was only an hour old when she was taken from her birth mother, Anne, and given to her new mother, Elizabeth.
That day, oh, it was magical. Yeah, I just wanted them to go away and leave me with the baby to start having a life with her.
After years of trying for a baby, it was a dream come true for the couple. But it would be shattered a mere 5 months later with the arrival of a letter on behalf of Sharon's birth mother, Anne.
Anne wanted her back. I couldn't believe it. An awful feeling. Absolutely terrible.
Unusually, after giving Sharon up, her birth mother had refused to sign any adoption papers. Sharon was still legally Anne's daughter.
Mum said she was at breaking point at that time. She says, I woke up and looked at you and thought, please don't ever take this beautiful baby from me, because she's mine.
Anne arranged a date to come and pick up her baby. But when the time came, she didn't show up.
I still feel, though, she must have wanted me. She must have loved me. I think her heart was ruling her head. Her heart wanted me, her head couldn't keep me because she didn't have any money.
Sharon's parents repeatedly pleaded with Anne to let them adopt her officially.
It's on your mind every day when you wake up. I felt she's never ever going to be ours. Living with the uncertainty, it was terrible. Until we left England. That's when we felt safe.
Elizabeth and Kenneth packed up their family and moved to Germany, despite the fact that Anne had still not signed the adoption papers. The family never returned to Yorkshire, where Anne lived.
My heart still goes out to Anne. All the pain and hurt she put my mum and dad through, it wasn't to hurt them. I think it was a pain that she was suffering in silence in herself.
As Sharon got older, her need to know her birth mother grew, and at the age of 19, she began to search for her.
I wanted to find Anne. I wanted to find out once and for all, who am I? And I just need to see a link.
Sharon applied to Bradford Social Services for any records they might hold on her mother or her brothers.
Instead of bringing me a box full of knowledge, she brought just a card index with Anne's name, my brother's name, Adrian, and my name.
This was the first time Sharon had seen the name her mother had given her, Amanda Jane Ross.
Seeing my name and Anne's name on a card is a very strong link. There's a bond between mother and daughter from the moment they're born. And it'll never die, it'll always be there. And I need to look in her eyes and say, I know you loved me. I know you did.
It's a must. It's a must for Sharon, this. And yeah, I want them to get together. I'm not jealous. And find out, you know, what it is that she's looking for.
It's not surprising that Sharon had struggled to find any information on her birth mother, Anne. The way she was given away was highly unusual. In the 1960s, most adoptions were organised through official channels, but a few were still arranged privately. GPs would sometimes step in to find homes for babies that mothers weren't able to keep.
Cord's fine. Good. All right. Thank you.
These arrangements would usually be legalised by an official court order. But in Sharon's case, her mother never agreed to make the adoption official, so there was no court order, no paper trail. All we had to go on was her name, Anne Elizabeth Ross, two of the most common Christian names of the era. The only other lead we had was the card index Sharon had found when she searched for her mum, which listed the name of Sharon's brother, Adrian Ross, who was 4 when Sharon was born. If he could be found, perhaps Adrian could lead us to their mother.
When we searched for Adrian, we couldn't find any record of him either. But maybe, like Sharon, he'd gone on to be brought up by another family and his name changed. In which case, we had to try and find his new identity.
A check was run to see if an Adrian Ross that fitted the right profile had had a change of name as the result of an adoption. It was eventually discovered that Sharon's brother had indeed been adopted when he was 16. and had his name changed to Adrian Stokes. We traced Adrian to a village just outside Bradford. When we contacted him, he confirmed that he was the man we were looking for.
Given that Adrian wasn't adopted until he was 16, I'm hoping that he may have fresh information about their mother, which is going to help us find her.
Hi.
Adrian.
Welcome, Nicky.
Thank you.
Come in.
Thank you very much indeed.
Come in. Let's go straight through.
My goodness me, look at all these people. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? How many have we got here?
10 altogether.
10 altogether? I've got 4, and that's bad, isn't it?
Well, would you like to go through, Nicky?
Brilliant, thank you. Great to meet you all.
You too. Right.
Great, thank you. I've got to say, what a wonderful, warm, lovely family you've got.
They are fantastic. That's what my life's about.
So what do you do?
I'm an engineer. I mean, as a child, I always bought the toy that had something that popped up, came out, and then took it to bits to find out how it did it.
Yeah.
Much to the annoyance of foster parents.
You were fostered?
I was 6 years old when I was put into the care system.
So you were, first 6 years, you were with your birth mother, with your mother, yeah.
I spent a very long time in the children's home, and eventually one family came along I liked. Couldn't be adopted because, as far as we know, my mother never signed the papers to let me be adopted. And at 16 years old, they decided that I was old enough to make my own mind up, whether I would like to be adopted and become part of their family.
She never gave you up for adoption?
No.
Right, I've got to tell you, that is exactly the same situation with Sharon. I wonder why she refused to sign the paper.
I'd like to think she was hopeful of getting out of the situation she may have been in. I remember I had an abusive father. He was very violent. I ended up in hospital, and that's when they took me away. I'm 54 and I'm scared when I think about him. I believe she was a caring mother in a bad situation. Maybe I'll never know. I'm sure somebody who hung on that long would still think of us.
What do you know about your mother?
I believe that she was a nurse. She used to work for a doctor. How much of that is true, I can't say. Just once before I was adopted, I saw my mother.
How old were you?
I would have been around 14. She came out of the blue, and that was the last I saw her.
Have you got in your mind's eye a picture of your mother?
No.
Her face?
No. You wish you could go back and take that day again. That day would last forever. And we'd looked throughout the years trying to find my mother. We've searched, but we can't find her.
Did you know that you had a sister?
I've never been told, to the best of my knowledge, that I had a sister. But I knew there was a sister. Something always in my mind said, you have a sister. I can't explain how I knew.
That's your sister.
She does look like me. She does. It's good to know she's there. She looks happy. She has no pictures of her mother, no.
If she was ever found, is that still an important thing for you?
I would still like to find her. I would still like to find her. If Sharon's looking as I've been looking, I can only think her heart's in the same place. For both of us, I think if we found her, that would be amazing. Maybe together we'll go forward and find her.
Sharon Temple Sowerby has been looking for her mother, Anne Ross, for over 30 years. Despite searching for 6 months, with no paper trail to follow, we too have failed to find her. But we have traced Sharon's brother, Adrian. who she has never met. I need to go and tell Sharon about the difficulties that we've had with her search. But hopefully, news that her brother has been found and that we haven't given up looking for her mum will offer her some comfort.
Sharon, hi, I'm Davina.
Pleased to meet you.
And you, thank you. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Can I sit down?
Yes, sure.
Brilliant. How have you been?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Yeah, good.
Good, thank you.
Well, obviously, when we took on the search, it was very difficult because of the lack of information and because you don't have an adoption file. And if you did, you'd have all her details in there.
Yeah, I understand.
And as of yet, we haven't been able to find your mum. Like you, we've had enormous problems, and it's very, very rare for us to not be able to find somebody.
Mm-hmm.
However, we have traced your elder brother, Adrian.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And what's he said?
He was brought up with your mother until he was 6. And when he was 6, he was taken into care. He doesn't remember living with your mother at all.
Oh.
When he was 10, he was fostered by a family, but like you, that family were not allowed to adopt him.
She wouldn't let...
She wouldn't.
But she must have a reason. And for whatever reason, you know, I don't judge her because she gave me out of love. She just couldn't look after me, so maybe, you know, the same happened to him.
Adrian didn't know about you. He had a feeling. He thought he had a sister, but he couldn't find any trace of anyone.
Did he try and look?
He's tried for so
Has
long
he?
to try and find family.
Does he want to see me?
So thrilled, and he really wants to see you.
Do you have a photograph of him? Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, sure. Looks like me, doesn't it? It's so weird after all these years just looking at a link. Oh, he's lovely.
He's got 10 kids.
How many? 10? Oh, leaping lizards.
He's a family man through and through.
Wow.
I've got a letter. Would you like to read it?
Oh, yes, please. Dear sister, this letter has been a long time coming. My foster family were unaware that I had a sister, yet somehow you were always in my heart. I have a wonderful wife and family wanting to meet you and welcome you into our family and lives. With much love and anticipation, your brother Adrian. It's beautiful.
We're still hoping that we can continue our search because we'd like to try and get answers for you. So it's still going on, the search.
Thank you.
But maybe you can do it together now.
Maybe, yeah. So I just hope and pray that she's out there and I'll meet her one day with the help of Adrian.
Today, Sharon will meet her brother Adrian for the first time. She's travelled down to Yorkshire, where Adrian lives from her home in the northeast.
Sharon.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Oh.
What are you hoping is going to happen now? You know, looking into the future.
I'm hoping we become one big family. She becomes my extended family, and hopefully we become hers. That's what I'd like to happen. Possibly together, move forward, and look for my mother.
Sharon wants to meet Adrian in Saltaire, just outside Bradford, the city where she was born.
Well, that's the little cafe there, where you're going to meet your sister at last. Good luck.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Okay.
So, I'm going to leave you here, and your brother's just down there in the cafe. Okay? Good luck. Thank you.
You okay?
You all right?
Mm-hmm. How are you?
Fine. Much better now. Much better now. I wasn't going to cry.
We not. No, me neither. Is it not tears? No.
Real. A lot of catching up to do.
We have. We have.
I've thought about you for years. Years and years. Nobody ever said we were siblings, but I knew you were there.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a bond between you and me that's always been there. I can't believe you just look like me. It's magic.
I know.
Oh.
Can't stop looking at you. It's like looking back at me. It's crazy. Yeah.
I was scared you might look at me and see Anne, and it might upset you.
I can't remember.
Can't remember our face.
I can't, no.
No.
But I always believed she cared because she never gave in.
She didn't give us up.
No, she never gave us up.
No, she never. No. She would never sign me.
That's what I've clung on to. She still wouldn't let go.
No, I don't think she ever will.
No. And I don't think I will.
And I don't think I will. So I think we'll find her together.
We'll get it.
Yeah. I feel today has meant everything. I'm just elated and happy, and we now have a brother. It's wonderful.
In minutes, it's as if I've known her every day. But I've got a lot of catching up to do. Have you inherited a family?
Oh, have I? Yes. Mm-hmm. I've heard. 10.
I've been busy.
You're not gonna tell you. I think our mother would be happy.
I think she'd be very happy.
I think she'd be very proud as well. Yeah.
She'll be happier when we're all together.
She will.
Hopefully go forward, be the family we should have been.
Mm-hmm. What are we going to open first? Let's see. Oh, come on.
For nearly a year, we have been searching for Sharon Temple Sowerby's birth mother, Anne Ross. Anne gave Sharon to her new parents when she was just an hour old, but never allowed her new parents to legally adopt her.
She would never sign me away. She never ever wanted to sign the papers. And I think that reassured me through life that I was wanted.
It's been 3 months since Sharon met her brother Adrian, who he found while searching for their mother.
I've got a new brother in my life, and it's just... It's like he's always been there. It's not like he's new. From the moment I looked at him, from the moment I looked in his eyes, he was in my heart.
That's nice.
It was like we'd never been apart. We have the same sense of humour, we can laugh at the same things. Having Sharon in my life's like a breath of fresh air.
Is there a card on there?
Since meeting, they're more determined than ever to find their mum.
I don't think I'll ever stop now. I think meeting Adrian, the pair of us, I think we're both going to find our mother. We will find her, I think. I don't think we'll both give up now.
Unlike Sharon, Adrian did spend some of his childhood with their mother, Anne. It wasn't until he was 6 that he was taken into care after suffering violence at the hands of the man he believes was his father. He only saw his mother again on one occasion, just before he was eventually adopted, aged 16.
The age I met her, I was probably a very confused child. I didn't know the meaning of it at the time, which has affected me ever since. I just wish I could remember her.
There's always been something missing. He's never liked his birthday because it's always reminded him of what was missing. It's got a bit better over the years because the kids, they wanted to celebrate it with him, and we've always, encouraged that. But if it was just him, it'd be just another day.
With the support of his wife, Rita, Adrian approached a specialist adoption agency to see if they could track down his records in the hope that they might lead to his mum.
After 2 months, they came back and said they couldn't find a single piece of paper with my name on it.
Despite this setback, Adrian has never given up trying to find his mother.
Any way I could think of, we tried. I went to visit all the old children's homes I've been in. I even spent half a year just dialing everybody with my surname. I just rang every single one.
It's been really hard for him when he's come up against these brick walls all the time, He doesn't want to feel those feelings again.
Despite the fact that Adrian could find no record of his adoption anywhere, we were convinced, because he had been officially adopted, there had to be a file somewhere. If we could find Adrian's file, we were hopeful that would be the key to finding Anne. We knew Sharon had found her brother's name on a card index in Bradford. So with Adrian's permission, we asked social services to run a check of local records. A thorough search of their archives eventually unearthed Adrian's missing adoption file. At last, we had our first big breakthrough. We were able to begin piecing together a picture of Anne's life, starting from when Adrian was taken into care at the age of 6. The file reveals that the man Adrian remembers being violent towards him was not actually his father, as Adrian had believed, but was in fact his stepfather. It also shows that after Adrian was taken into care, Anne and her husband moved to Australia. But the only address in the file is 43 years out of date, and the trail to her whereabouts ends there. Incredibly, there are letters in this file sent from Australia by Anne which show her heartbreak at being separated from her son. Don't ever forget I love you, and one day soon we will all be happy together again. But you can sense from this a mother who's desperate to see her little boy again. And he never saw these letters.
Although the file did not get us any nearer to finding Anne, for Adrian and Sharon, it's the first time that they have proof that their mother really did care.
These were actually letters that were sent to me from Australia when she emigrated there.
Seems strange seeing a handwriting, doesn't it, Adrian?
It's very strange.
Isn't it?
Very strange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She'd love to hear from you. Please write to Mummy. Did you ever write?
I was never told about this letter and never given the opportunity to write back. I've only just got that. 40-some years late.
Mummy does miss you.
And then the birthday card.
10.
For the 10th birthday.
I've bought you a boomerang.
Although I didn't get the letters, I got the boomerang.
Did you?
I did.
Do you remember it?
I clearly remember scaring people to death, throwing it around the playing field and skimming above their heads with this thing. But I could never remember where this boomerang came from.
She does sound loving though, doesn't she? I think she was just lost. Think?
Reading your 10th birthday card when you're 53, it's not an easy thing to do. The first time I read them, I was just completely devastated. Just felt empty, felt a lot of anger that I was never given them. You'd like to think that all the other birthdays that aren't here, she thought about both of us.
I don't quite believe it's the same for me, because I was only an hour when I was given away, and I don't have any history. You have history, I have nothing. So, did she love me? Did she ever think of me?
I'm sure she thought of you the same as she did me.
Now we had evidence of Anne's feelings. We were desperate for new leads. Incredibly, a few days after the file was discovered, we had a call from a social worker now dealing with Adrian's case to say they'd made a major discovery. Records showed that Anne had been in contact with social services 5 years ago, and a UK address had been left on file. We seemed to be getting closer. By checking electoral rolls, we confirmed that Anne and her husband had returned from Australia to England and had since moved several times. But eventually, we traced her living alone at an address in Kent. Her husband had recently died.
At last, we'd found Sharon and Adrian's mum. When we contacted her, she told us she was delighted to find that they'd come looking for her. Anne told us that she always wanted to find them, but whilst her husband was alive, it had been difficult for her to search for them. Life hasn't been easy for Anne, and there were things she didn't want to talk about on camera, but she cannot wait to be reunited with her children.
After one of the longest and most complex searches we've ever undertaken, we have finally found Adrian and Sharon's birth mother, Anne. Despite being delighted that Adrian and Sharon have found each other and come looking for her, Anne doesn't want to share her side of the story on camera yet. So she asked if I could pass on a letter and a photograph to her children. So I'm on my way to go and tell Sharon and Adrian that they will at last be able to meet their mum and hopefully make sense of their past.
Hello. Pleased to see you. Come on in.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Come on in, Davina.
I know that in your adoption file, you were hoping that maybe there might be some more information about your mum's whereabouts, and there wasn't. No. But social services did get a really, really old address and looked on electoral rolls and searched and searched and searched, and we found your mum.
Okay.
She really wants to see you both so much. And she has a lot she wants to explain. She'd even thought about running away from her husband to just come find you. Does that mean a lot to you?
You read these things, and I think both of us have always tried to look at it in the positive way that she did want us, and she did try, but of course everybody has a different view, and you think, well, maybe she just didn't.
She had her reasons, didn't she? She had to do what she had to do. No, I don't think she wanted to do it.
But that, that does mean a lot.
And I know it must be difficult for you because you feel like she didn't look for you. It's not a bad thing. It's because she never let them formally adopt you. There was no way of finding you. You weren't on a record anywhere.
No.
No record of what your name was. It wasn't out of not loving you. She always loved you. She's written you a letter and given me a photograph to pass on. Would you like to see? I'll give you the photo first.
Oh, my God.
What does that mean to you, Sharon?
It's me. That is me. I thought all these years when I looked in her, I thought, would I see me? It was so alike. It's absolutely scary. What do you see?
I see both of us.
Do you want me to read it or do you?
You've got the glasses.
Dear Adrian and Amanda, there are no words that can tell you how so sorry I am for not being in your lives. Not a single day goes by that I have not thought about you both and that I love you both very much. I prayed that one day I would see you again, and I hope one day you might be able to forgive me. Thank you so much for bringing us together again. Forever, I hope. Mum. I think I've waited 50 years for that, Doreen. And you waited a long time.
It's very short, but it says a lot.
But what I was searching for.
Today, after a lifetime of waiting, Sharon and her brother Adrian will finally be reunited with their birth mother, Anne. They want to meet their mother in Bradford, the place Adrian lived with his mum as a young boy, and where Sharon was born.
Hello. Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. You all right? But I don't know whether I could have done this without you today. No. I think we need each other to do this together, don't we?
Yeah, I do need you.
Yeah, I need you with me. Yeah.
Before they are reunited, Sharon and Adrian want Anne to understand what she's always meant to them.
Where do I begin? I have thought about you so many times over the years. I've wondered how hard life has been to you. Have you ever thought of me?
I have tried many times over the years to find you, but have never given up hope, only wishing that life has treated you well and that you have been loved.
I have had a longing to meet you for years, to see your face. It would be everything, just to look at you, talk to you. It would make me complete.
Sorry. I'm so sorry what I did to you. I am.
Sorry.
I'm sorry not to do, darling. Never a day went by without both of you.
I stop loving you.
No, I love you both. You look lovely, both of you. Yeah. Sit down. Let's sit down. What's it like? Were you happy?
Yes, I am.
Were you happy?
Yes.
Oh, I can't believe it's happening.
We keep saying this, don't we?
It's like a dream. I wanted to say sorry before I died.
I loved you anyway. That never changed.
That's wonderful. And I love you for it. But I don't deserve it.
Yes, you do. We wouldn't be here without you.
My mum said she loves you because you gave her the greatest gift in the world. You gave her your baby. And she always talked about you with care and love because of what you did for her. And you made two people who couldn't have children very, very happy. So you did the right thing.
I went to get you back, did she tell you?
She told me you went to get me 3 or 4 times.
And I went to see you, didn't I, again? And I always missed you too. But we mustn't go in the past.
No.
We'll grow forward together now,
Yes.
as a family.
Yes.
Yeah, we
lovely.
will. Yeah, we will.
I just instantly loved them. Well, I've never stopped loving them. Have you children, remember?
Yes, I have 2.
And you've got
10.
No.
4 grandchildren, 2 of which live with me.
That's my son.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. It's beyond any dream. I'm still wondering if it's real.
I can't stop looking at you, Mum.
What do you see?
Me.
My mum used to say, she said, look in the mirror. She's looking back at you. And I didn't understand until I looked at your photograph. And I'm like,
It's changed my life. Free, happy. Free of the whole weight that's been there for years. I can laugh again.
before I came into the room, I don't know whether I could go into the room. It was, what if she likes me? What if she doesn't like me? So many things. And then just looking at her face, it had gone. It's just vanished. She's just lovely. And I feel complete.
Next time on Long Lost Family, a mother haunted by a decision she took over 50 years ago.
I think I'm looking for forgiveness. I need him to forgive me. Then maybe I can forgive myself.
And a brother, desperate to solve the mystery of what happened to his baby sister.
She's out there somewhere. And until I find her and hold her and cuddle her, and she'll always be a myth.